Hello, everyone. Welcome to our Tuesday night live stream. I feel like every time, like that 1 week break, I feel like I haven't seen you guys in so long. But we were just here last week. So thank you guys for joining me again. Thank you for watching. Thank you for your emails, your shout outs, your feedback. I've been having a really great time with these Tuesday night live streams. So tonight we are back with another live stream. And tonight you might be noticing something. There is one thing that just does not have as much bold color as everything else. Remember those games we used to play when we were younger? One of these things is not like the other. So if you spot it, go ahead and type it in the comments box. But today, since we are doing a live stream, you guys know the drill. Couple of housekeeping things to share. First and foremost, if you're watching for the first time, go ahead and drop a hashtag new in the comments so that we know you're new here and so that we can welcome you accordingly. If you're catching the replay, go ahead and drop a hashtag replay so that I can still say hi to you as if you were watching live, because whether you're live or on the replay, it's always good to have you here. And we're going to go ahead and dive into our live stream, which today is going to be all about brows. Did you catch it? I was like, there for some reason, when there's one item in my makeup routine that I'm used to doing, when I omit it, I feel like I need to punch up everything else. So today I didn't do my eyebrows. These are my natural brows, but I felt the compulsion to go extra on my eyes. And for some reason lately I've been wearing a really bold lip, which doesn't make sense to me because we're all in masks. So kind of a interesting twist, but I guess because I'm home, if I'm gonna put on lipstick, go big or go home. So I've been doing the bold lip. So today's bold makeup look is brought to you today because we have no brows. So today I'm going to go over some tips for how to do brows and two of these really great new waterproof, all day long lasting 24-hour brow products that you can add to your makeup regimen. And I'm going to share some easy ways for you to use them if you haven't gotten used to doing brows. If you don't normally do brows, I don't want you to be intimidated because brows are not as scary as I think a lot of people make it out to be. A lot of people are terrified of brows, and there's a lot of I would chalk it up to confusion. I think it's more, if you're not used to doing them, it can be really easy to mess them up. And I think when people see that, then they just assume that brows are difficult to do, but they really aren't as bad as you would think. So I'm going to share some tips today for how to do that. But before we do, let's get to the comments box. If you're watching, give me a hi, hello. I see Jessica A is already here. Hey, Jessica, so good to see you from Texas. Yeah, I'm so glad you're enjoying your time there and so glad that you can still connect with us here. If anyone else, don't be shy. Let me see in the comments box who you are and where you're coming from. So keep the conversation going in the chat box. I'm going to be peeking over every once in a while as I do this tutorial. So if you have any questions about anything I'm doing, do not be afraid to stop me. I would be more than happy to stop and answer and, show you some tips and ideas. So why don't we go ahead and dive into it? So tonight I want to share two products, like I said, that I have been loving. I would say, for the last, probably in college, I started doing my eyebrows. And for me, it became one of those things that I do not like to go outside of the house without, especially now when there is so much focus on our eyes. I've been really concentrating on doing my eyebrows and eyeliner, the minimum. Those are my two, like if there's nothing else that I put on before I leave the house, gotta have brows, gotta have eyeliner. Next up from there would probably have to be mascara. Everything else I could probably, okay, no, I'm lying, foundation. It would definitely be foundation. Everything else other than that I could live without, but brows and eyeliner are my go-tos because I feel like without them, everything just kind of blends out into nothingness. So I like to give my eyes a little pop. And as you can see, when the rest of your face is done, eyebrows are like that finishing touch to give you that accent to your brow. So I cannot sleep on my brows. And the two products that I've been loving are actually these two right here from FMG, the Face Shop. Sorry, not FMG, TFS. I'm so used to saying FMG. The Face Shop Tattoo Station Brow Pomade and the Tattoo Station Brow Pencil. I tried these two products a couple of months ago, but the reason that I was intrigued by them was because of their claims to be long lasting. And as you guys know, I have pretty long hours. Usually my days are at minimum 12 hours. So when I put on my makeup in the morning, I needed to stay with me for at least 12 to 6 hours. And I just explained that my eyebrows are one of those important features that I don't want to miss out on. So that 12-hour waterproof or water resistant long lasting wear is totally what I'm looking for. So the first product that I got to try was the brow pomade, and that's this guy right here. It is misleading because, you know, you get it and it's this teeny tiny little brow pot and you're like, okay, it's such a little bit of product. What am I going to do? But let me tell you, a little bit goes a long way. This set also comes with a little spoolie, which has a one end, which allows you to sort of draw on and fill in. And then I like that it also comes with this little like mascara wand spoolie. They call it a spoolie, which is a fancy name for mascara wand. It's basically a mascara wand. So this dual-ended tip, it gives you your spoolie and your filler. So what I like to do is, I'm gonna have to get the mirror out so that I can see what I'm doing here, guys. But what I like to do when I'm doing my brows, we could probably move the keyboard, but I first and foremost like to just sort of brush my brows up. And I guess you guys could come a little bit closer. Opposite. Yes. Come in. Welcome. So you can actually see what I'm doing. But I always like to take the spoolie side and just brush up my brows to get all these ducks in a row so that they can get in order. My natural brow shape is what I use as a guide. And I think that is one of the things that a lot of people can cause people problems, because when you are trying to alter your natural brow shape, it makes things difficult, because now you're like getting down to the root of things and changing things from there. So unless you like shave it off or completely cover it up and start from scratch, in my opinion, it's always easier to just start with what you got and work from there. So I like to create a brow that follows a more natural shape. But if you're looking to change your shape, that's when things get really complicated. So spoolie just allows you to comb. I just comb it up, and whatever little brows are sticking out, I just kind of swoop them down so that they line up with the other brows that are there. And that kind of gives me an idea of what I'm working with. So I love that these little brushes are included in the brow pomade. Now, if you're not used to a pomade and you're more of a brow pencil person, don't worry, we've got you covered. The Tattoo Station Brow Pencil is also a really great product because, like I said, you get that water-resistant formula. It glides on so nice. It's a twist up, so you don't have to worry about sharpening, which is, in my opinion, probably the most annoying thing ever. I hate having to sharpen all of my, makeup products. I feel like in this day and age, why do I have to do that? So it does come with a, little tip that you don't have to sharpen. You could just twist it up. And on the opposite end, you also have a spoolie. This spoolie is not tapered. It's a little bit broader. But I've been finding that I actually really like that for brows because, with the mascara one, you kind of want it to be tapered to get like in the corner of your eyes. For my brows, I don't really care. I want more brush to be able to brush my brows up. So this spoolie, it's more of a rectangular shape, perfect for kind of just brushing up your brows. So the great things about this product, just some of the benefits. First of all, like I said, it is waterproof, water resistant. I have to stop saying waterproof. It is water resistant, which means that, I basically read that as sweat proof. Read it as rain proof. It's not going to wash off your face. It doesn't flake or clump. It's not going to, give you that ashy look, which I hate with some of the less favorable brands. And it really does give you a nice, solid, almost like a gel sort of line. And this color is black brown. So you see it kind of has, it's not completely black. It's a little bit of a brown color to it. The brow pomade, that one, it guaranteed delivers 24 hours of waterproof wear. Also very pigmented. So when I use it, I really just kind of dab this in like two dots. And it's the same thing, you know, it doesn't clump, it doesn't have a heavy formula. Let's get this to zoom. And you can get really nice lines with this brush. You know, you can fill in, you can get really sharp lines, but this color is also the dark brown. So both of the colors are basically the same, and you could mix and match the formulas, but you see, like I just did two dots and you get really, really defined with this little guy here. So you get really bold color, long lasting. That angle tip gives you a great amount of precision, and both of these are matte, so you don't get that shine. And I think that's important because for your brows, you know, it's not eyeliner. You don't want to have that shiny look because I think that adds into making your eyebrows look fake, and we really just want them to be fuller. So very, very gentle formulas, not irritating to your skin. And as you saw, they glide on almost effortlessly, like just a little line and you can get some color. A little bit goes a long way, so you don't have to really rub to get that color on, which is also important to me because nobody needs that added irritation on their face. So all of the colors, let me see if I can switch over and show you a few of the colors that are available in each one. But each of them come in a variety of shades, which I like too because there are so many different brow shades. But some of these shades available in the pomade are blonde, light brown, brown, dark brown, gray brown, black brown, and some of the colors available in the brow pencil are basically the same color. So I like that there's a variety of colors. I've been using this color, the dark brown, but I also feel like, dark brown in the pomade, black brown in the pencil, but I feel like I could even maybe step it up to a brown. But like I said, I use a very, very light hand with both of them, so a little bit of product goes a long way. So why don't we go ahead and get into the how-to. So to start off, I like to take, there are two ways, you know, two schools of thought on this. And I like to say when you're first doing your eyebrows, like if you've never plucked, you've never shaped, the easiest thing to do is just take a straight object, either your little spoolie or your pencil. And to start off, you're going to just take it into the inner edge of your nose and just hold it straight. And that will give you, I'm just using the spoolie so that I could, actually I should do it this on my left side because I am left-handed. But basically all you want to do is just hold that straight object up to your nose and draw a little line, little teeny tiny line right there. That is going to be the beginning of my brow. Just a tiny line. I've seen people, you know, do this huge line that you need to come back and erase, but you really just want to know for yourself where your line is going to be. I'm just going to make it a little bit darker so you can see. But that's going to be the beginning of my eye. And you can see it basically lines up with where my eyebrow is already. Next, keeping that same edge of your nose, you're just going to tilt your straight object over your iris of your pupil. And that is going to give you where your point should be. And I'm just going to put a little dot. This little dot, can you see, is where the point of my eyebrow is. I'll also make it a little bit darker so you can see. So that's the point of the high point of my brow. And last but not least, edge of your nose, corner of your eye, and that is going to give you the edge of your eyebrow. So really easy, quick way, 3 points to give you the angles of your brow. So that will, you know, you connect the dots and essentially that will give you the shape of your brow. Now for me, I'm just going to brush those lines out so that they fade into my makeup because I don't want dots in my finished look. For me, the easiest way that I found to do my brows, it's kind of crazy, and you guys, whenever I'm doing my makeup, you guys are like, why are you making that crazy face? Because for me, it's easier, instead of doing that every time that I need to do my brows, and you know, don't get me twisted, once you do that and you start to see the shape of your eyebrow, then you'll be able to do it more easily, just naturally. But I found that for me, when I'm doing my brows, instead of like trying to worry and figure out where my brows are every time, I just kind of make a face, kind of like I smell something, you know, like, what does that smell? You know, you wrinkle your eyebrows And you'll see, I'm going to do it on the opposite side, that the inner corner of your wrinkle is actually basically the same point as the start of your brow. You see that? It's essentially the same. And then you making that same like crazy face, sort of change it into surprise. Like now you've figured out where the smile comes from and you're shocked at where it is. You see that naturally my brow ridge, just the high point of my brow is right here. Also the same point as my ridge from before. And then the end, I just use the natural end of where my hairs end up. I don't have really long eyebrow hairs and I don't trim them. This is the natural shape of my brows. Wherever it ends is where I end my makeup. So that's essentially how I figure out my brows. So if you guys see me in my makeup tutorials making this like angry face whenever I'm doing my brows, that is why. It just makes it easier for me to see what I'm doing. So I'm going to start off with the Tattoo Station brow pencil, and I'm going to show you how I just kind of fill out my eyebrows. So you guys can see that I'm going to lean in a little bit. I basically have a very light area at the front of my brow, and then it gets a little bit darker up here, and then it gets thin and light at the end. So I like to essentially follow that shape. But I think that the biggest mistake that people make when they're doing their eyebrows is they use their brow like a pen or a pencil, and I think you really need to use it more like a paintbrush or a I would say, like, when you're sketching and you want to just do like a very, very light, hatch if you're a person who draws. But you never want to take your eyebrow and do one of these. It just, unless you do it really lightly, you don't want to do it heavy-handed because you're going to end up with that line in your brow. So one of the things that I see a lot of people doing is just taking a really heavy line and literally just drawing on their eyebrow. But I find you get a more natural brow when you start off with just little, really short, light strokes. And you see if you do that a lot, over and over again, moving around, you'll get that look where your brow is filled in, but it doesn't look drawn on, right? And then you can see from where you're working, we're going to lean all the way in. I don't need to lean all the way in. We can zoom in. All right, so you can tell, like I said, I've got like a dark area in here and then it gets light. So I don't really need to fill in that area much because it's already dark. So I'm going to skip the middle and then I'll come to the end using the same light stroke technique. Just gently dot, 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 furrowing out my brow. Now up here, because, basically I'm done. I just, my brow is filled out. It matches the same direction of my existing brow, but I actually like a fuller brow. So I'm just going to come in on top of that now. Same dot, 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 dot technique. And I'm going to just fill in above my brow. But I'm going to try to just keep it really close to my existing brow. And that's why it comes in handy to comb your brow up, because it'll give you the area of your natural brow hairs. So I'm not really going too far outside of my brows to give myself Groucho Marx brows, but just slightly above, like at the very tip of my hairs where it would be thinning out. I'm just going to go up there and fill in. Now, other techniques. Some people, the inner point of your eyebrow, that's up to you how you like it. Some people like it square, and I'll be honest with you, I wear it both ways. Some people like it square, so this is the beginning, so I just fill in. Some people like a little round. To round it out, I just come in and just make a curve, but instead of drawing a dark line like I'm making a C, I just use that same gentle stroke method to make that same round shape. So that way my brows are filled in. I have more thickness and definition. You can compare the brow that I filled to the brow that I didn't, and you can see it still looks really natural. It doesn't look like I've drawn it on because I don't have any harsh lines. I think that the thing that is like a dead giveaway that your eyebrows are not yours is those lines. And again, everybody likes their brows differently. Remember, it's makeup. It's basically an art form, so it's what you prefer. Some people love that line. They like the cleanness of the line. I just prefer not to have it. And I think that if you're starting out and you want your brow to look more natural, then I would like veer away from having that line. And then as you get better at it and you know you're more comfortable with what you're doing, then you could draw that line on because you'll be more certain of the location and the look of that line. So I just want to add a little bit of a tip to kind of give a nice point here at the end of my brow. But you'll see I also have it like I like to have a very light tail to my brow. Again, personal preference, go by what you like. But I feel like just following the natural way that my brows are makes it look more natural. So naturally, you guys can see the tail of my brow is thinner and lighter than the middle of my brow. So I kind of just keep the same technique. And then in the front, because I did sort of go in more with the pencil to fill it in, I just come back with the spoolie and I brush at it a little bit until I get it to the lightness that I want. The more you brush, the lighter it's going to get. So if you like an ombre brow where it's really light in the front and darker in the back, you can either come in with your pencil and just do a couple of lines in the front and then go a little heavier handed at the end. Or you can use the spoolie side to really just brush away at the front part of your brow to make it lighter without completely taking away the color that you have at the beginning of your brow. So you can, you know, play with it, you know, just have fun with it. Don't put yourself under stress, but make sure that you just sort of do it very light-handed because it's easier to make a little dot. Like let's say I accidentally put a dot there that I don't like. It's easier to correct that than if I came in with this heavy dark line. This I could always just rub away, no big deal. But if I had a really dark line, I would have to basically come back in with concealer. So that is my Tattoo Station brow pencil. And the great thing about this is that, you know, everything's in one. You see, I draw, I flip, I brush, I draw, I flip, I brush. It's nice to just have everything together in one place. So that's one of the reasons I tend to gravitate towards brow pencils. And then as I go, you know, further down, I mean, I barely scratch the surface of this guy. I use very little of this brow pencil because even though it is soft, it's a dense pencil. So it's not like disappearing by like I'm not losing 1/8 of an inch to do one brow. So it's I love it. I love it. And I love that it lasts quite a long time. Now the brow pomade, this guy, he's a little bit different. As you can tell, the format of it is different. You know, it's sort of like a liquid, but it's not a liquid. It's more of a solid. It's like, they say a gel, but it's really a solid gel. But you still have to go about it a little differently. So the first thing that you want to do is before, like the first time that you use it, you see that I have all of these little lines in it. All I do is take the pointy edge of my brush and I just dab it in there, right? Once. I recommend you start off, it's not an eyeshadow where you're going to be swirling your brush in there. It's not a liquid where you're dipping your brush. You really just want to get a tiny bit of that product onto your brush. And then once you do, matter of fact, first thing I recommend is just paint a little on your hand to see how dark it is, right? And then you can, you know, dust off some on your hand. But what I found helpful is using the same technique. I kind of just start in the middle of my brow because, like I said, the middle of my brow is already naturally the darker part of my brow. So as I start to paint on, I can see how much product is coming out. If it's too much, it's okay because I'm in the middle of my brow, which is darker anyway. So I like to just, again, using short strokes, and I like to angle as I'm painting. You'll see I'll be changing the angle of the brush to the direction that my brows go. So in this front part of my brow, my brush is at like a 45-degree angle, sloping up to the point of my brow. So again, short strokes. I'm basically just dotting it on, but I like to just give it a little push up to the point of my brow to give it a short line. And again, you know, using just a little bit of product because a little bit goes a long way. And the mistake that I made with this product was at first I thought it was going to be like, you know, liquid eyeshadow where I need to really rub it into the product to get it onto the brush. But it is just so great of a product, you don't need to use a lot of it. So Really using the same technique as with the pencil, but this time you sort of have more surface area. One of the things I found about the Pomade is that I can almost get more coverage in less time because I am doing broader strokes. But because those strokes are bigger, you just want to keep in mind that you want to use less product, because same concept as with the pencil. If you do light strokes, it's easier to correct than if you do dark strokes. And just so that you can see, on this tail end of my brow, I've angled the brush in a different direction. So up here I have it in a direction like this, 45 degrees towards the point. And here I have it in the opposite direction, 45 degrees down to the tail of my brow. So using that will also help you get your strokes to conform to a natural shape. You don't want to be using, for example, flat lines here, because you're going to come up with these really long flat lines. But it also helps with the pomade because it dries really fast, guys. As you go, brush and touch up, because if you wait till the end, you're going to have more cleanup. So again, just sort of following your natural brow direction, you can fill in with the pomade. And both of these products, even though the formulas are different, they both give a really great matte finish that lasts a long time. When both of them set, they are set. You know, you can sweat, go out in the rain, go for a little swim. I've tried it, and it is going to stay right where you put it. It is not going to budge. You are going to have your everything in place all day long. But the pomade, really, really great. So that's basically how easy it is to do my brows. And you guys can see any little mistake, just use your spoolie and kind of brush it out. If you have a stray line or a stray dot, just use your spoolie to brush it. If you put it on a little bit too heavy, just come back in with your spoolie side and brush it out. And brush as you go so that you can see if you missed a few spots. But that's basically my two new favorite brow products. I feel so much better now that I have brows on. But basically just start light and take your time with little short strokes, and that is going to help you build, like slowly build your brow to what you want it to be. If you draw it on, it can get cartoony real fast. So both these products by the Tattoo Station, our brow pomade and our brow pencil, long lasting, natural looking brows, and they will give you really great water resistant wear. So I recommend that you try them both. And of course, I will post links down into the bottom so that you guys can follow. So any questions so far about anything that I've done? Have you guys been struggling with your brows? Does this help make it a little bit easier to do? Is, now that you've seen me do it sort of basically step by step, I mean, I've seen people with crazy long videos of how to do their brows. You guys see, you know, once you get it down pat, I can do my brows in less than a minute. You know, it's really quick to just get them in. So let me know if you guys have questions. You can comment in the comments below, and I'll be sure to follow up with a comment for you back. But also, please don't forget to subscribe, because I enjoy doing these videos. I enjoy teaching, and I've been enjoying your feedback, and I would love to continue to do them. But I need to know if you're liking these videos. So if this video was helpful to you, like, and if you've been finding this video series helpful, be sure to subscribe. And if you're subscribed, you'll also be alerted to all the other videos that I do post. I do other live videos, and I also share impromptu videos as well. So if you're subscribed, then you won't miss any of that. So that's it for me for today. Be sure to check out these brow products. I love them. I love how natural my brows look when I use them. I love how easy they are to use. And I love, again, that they are just so long lasting. Once I put them on there, I don't have to worry that my scarf and my bandana and the sweat and the rain is going to rub it off. It's just nice to have one less thing that you need to be worried about. So thank you guys all for watching. I hope you have a great weekend, and I will be back here with another video next week, Tuesday at 8 p.m. So be sure to be here and join me. Bring your questions, your comments, and your ideas, and I am looking forward to us being able to chat again. Have a great day, guys. Bye.